Hello. How's everybody doing? I hope the whole week has treated you well. I hope the weekend is going great. Um, I hope everybody's having a good time, and I hope you're going to enjoy the today's stream. It should be a fun time. First things first, I want to apologize for my funny voice. I woke up with a swollen tongue this morning, and it got worse, and I read about how to like make it go away, and it's gotten better since then. But it's not 100% gone, so I apologize in advance for having a funny lisp. I sound like I'm back in middle school with braces on. I hate it. But anyway, also side note: don't Google what causes a swollen tongue, because like it's the pages are just gonna tell you you're gonna die of like the half a dozen most gruesome things you've ever seen. Um, I'm pretty sure I just either I swallowed a bug or I bit my tongue at the night. That's probably what happened. Let's be real. Anyway, so apologies in advance for my voice. But also, if this light up here starts blinking, pre-apologies for that. It's on its way out. I've got replacements on the way. It's just in a really hard to reach place, and it has stopped responding to the remote, so I can't turn it off, unfortunately. So if it starts blinking, sorry. Anyway, we're doing fun stuff today. It's fun stuff. Let's take a look at what's on the desk, because we've got some great stuff to take a look at. So, hop over to the desk cam. We are looking at this machine today. This is a Quadra 700 in the flesh. It is in beautiful shape. It's not quite museum quality, but it's pretty freaking close. Everything it has, or everything it came with, is present. It just needs a couple of scrapes buffed out of the case, and of course it's got this plain talk microphone holder on the front that I need to remove. But other than that, like, it's not yellowed at all. It is, it's fully functional. It's in great shape, and we're gonna fire it up and take a look at it today. If you don't know about you're like, what the heck is that microphone holder in the front of the case? What do you mean? It's this one, the Apple microphone. Before they rebranded it as Plain Talk, it's really just a mic. Provides phantom power to it over like a TRRS jack. Looks like this. You've probably seen these like back in school or whatever. Yeah, this just like slides into that holder in the front. That's all that is. I found this one on eBay for like $6. I'm not putting another one on the front of that case once I get it off of there. But it would be kind of cool to have the original mic, just because it was a thing back then. Anyway, this machine is basically stock, other than it has been upgraded. As far as I can tell, I opened it up, took a look at the motherboard. Battery's fine. It was changed at some point in the last 30 years. I forgot to check the date on it, but it's all good. No corrosion. Capacitors on the board are fine. They're all tantalums. It's got a full set of RAM slots, and I was looking at part codes last night. I believe it should have 4 16-megabyte SIMs in it, so it should have the full complement of memory that this machine can take. And then it's got a fully populated VRAM, so it's got half a meg on board, and then 6 VRAM slots that take 256K each. So you can add another meg and a half of VRAM, so it's got the full 2 megabytes of VRAM. Other than that, there's nothing else in this machine. It's got a stock 240 megabyte hard drive, and then it's got the stock floppy drive on here. That's it. There's no external bays on the Quadra 700. This came out in 1991. 1991, well before the multimedia PC craze. So, you know, CD-ROM drives weren't really a thing at this point. Not until like 93, 94-ish. Which at that point, you know, we had, you know, mid-tower cases like this 8500, the Quadra 800 case that this is based on, that was designed for 5.25-inch CD-ROM drives. But that did not stop these things from being extremely popular. I mean, just look at it. It's such a great aesthetic. You just have a little square. It's a little square guy on your desk with a vertical floppy drive and the horizontal strakes in the case. It's just a great look. These, of course, were made famous by the movie Jurassic Park. If you were in the You remember the scenes in the command center? Hopefully no spoilers, I don't know, it's a 30-year-old movie. All of the machines in there, like with giant 21-inch Apple multi-scan monitors, they're all Quadra 700s. So, screen famous Mac. Along with this machine, I also got a trio. Oh, I got a second machine for parts, but it's also apparently in perfectly working condition. It's much more yellow than this one. And then I got a trio of Apple Extended Keyboard 2s, which is what this popularly known as the aircraft carrier keyboard is. This thing is just immense, absolutely enormous, full-size keyboard. Uses Alps. I forget which kind of Alps switch, but it's Alps switches. It feels amazing to type on. One of the best keyboards of all time, and now I have 3 of them. So yeah, we're gonna fire this thing up, and I've left the original hard drive in it. It works. It does not sound like it's on its last legs, unlike my PowerMax 7200 that I fired up a few months ago, maybe a year ago now at this point. This one sounds great. Boots up fast. And based on the original boot that I did on it last night, just to make sure everything was working, it had some accelerator cards in it in the past. They're not present in it right now, and the other one also doesn't have any accelerator cards in it. At least a display adapter from Radius. Possibly there's something in there called Radius Math, so maybe possibly a coprocessor card in there as well, but I'm not sure. Before we fire it up, let's say hi to chat. Who do we have here? We've got Odessa Cubbage. Hello, welcome back. Retrotech Tom says howdy, howdy. Dave from Dave's Vintage Apple Tech is here. Hello, how's it going? Charlotte is back. Hello. Sukra! Hey, look, it's Sukra. Sukra's here. Hello. I hope you're doing great. Sukra says, I hope your tongue gets well soon. Me too. It's really annoying. It's so frustrating when, you wake up and, like, your back is sore or your tongue is swollen or something. Like, why can't I wake up and my body is broken in an interesting way? Like, oh, I slept wrong last night? I woke up with this sick tail. I don't know why, but yeah, it's not so bad. It's awkward to sit in chairs. BPS Car Audio is here. Sean Lynch, hello, welcome. Also, Ifrit05 is here. Ifrit says, I got an Ender 3 V3 KE based on my recommendation. I did recommend the SE, but the KE is much faster. So yeah, nice. Congrats on the printer. They say I've printed so many cool things. Yeah, the KE and the SE are really solid printers. Enjoy. Those are nice. Those are nice. Gutbomb is here. Gutbomb says, I think I have 2 of those original mics in the box. Garth sent me some of his garbage. How nice of him to do that. Sucre says 1991. Wow, so this was equivalent to a 386. This uses the whole reason it was called a Quadra is that this uses the Motorola 68040. It is equivalent to a 486. Although it's a bit faster per clock than a 486, this is a 25 megahertz machine, runs about equivalent to a 486-33. So it was a high-end machine back in the day. High-end machine! Gutbomb says that the keyboard uses Alps cream switches. Thank you. Yes, I can never remember what kind it is. Trina is here from Trina's Technobabble. Trina says, did I miss the RIFAs blowing up? No. So I left this unplugged overnight so that it wouldn't pop in the middle of the night. If it's going to pop, we're going to catch it on film today, so that should be fun. But yeah, this is, like I said, this is all original. I have not recapped the power supply. The power supply does work. Everything works fine in this machine. Have not tested the floppy drive, so we should probably test that today. But yeah, if the RIFA is going to go, it's going to go today. So with that said, let's get this thing plugged in and fired up. There we go, power is in. And we'll switch over to the capture card. There we go. We fire it up. It says soft power, so I press the power button on the keyboard. There it goes. So we're booting out the original hard drive. It's a mostly original install from what the previous owner had. I did clean up some extensions because it was failing to finish booting because it had extensions looking for accelerator cards that were no longer in the machine. Then once we've shown that off, I've got a blue SCSI with some images on it from my Centris, which we should be able to boot up from and see how this thing performs in like Mac OS 8 and stuff like that. Maybe Mac OS 8. I don't know if I have a bootable Mac OS 8 on this, actually. Oh no! No, it says it can't boot. Oh, come on. You booted last night. Don't be like that. Of course it's gonna do this. I booted up last night. Let me zap the PRAM really quick. I did have the blue SCSI in it, so it's probably confused about how few things are on the SCSI bus right now. Alright, so PRAM zapped. Come on, you. I did image the hard drive last night just in case this happened. Always a possibility. There we go. Ta-da! Trina asks, are there RIFAs in the 700? Apparently there are in the power supply. So if it goes, it's gonna be pushed out the back by the power supply fan. It should make a lot of disgusting smoke and stuff. Should be very impressive to see on stream. Oh, see, I missed some of the radius extensions. I thought I got them all. All right, here we go. This is as configured. So the classic black and white checkerboard background. Let's see if it sees all the RAM. It's not. It should be seeing 68 megs. My guess is I'm gonna have to go in there and wiggle some sims and get them back into contact. We are also not doing 32-bit addressing. Let's turn that on. Probably from zapping the PRAM. Yeah, here we go. 32-bit addressing on. Let's add some disk cache for speed, and we'll give it a reboot. Should be good. Got our little hard drive LED right there. You can kind of see it. It's just like a little acrylic light pipe, and there's an LED that comes off of the drive that just sticks in there. It's kind of a clever design. And then of course the power LED is right on the motherboard, and again it pushes up against a little acrylic light pipe. We'll open this thing up, so we'll be able to see inside later. Trina asks, do you know what PSU is in the machine? I don't. We will open it up later, though, and we'll be able to see. Because I couldn't tell you like what it is. If I looked at it, I'd have no idea. Like, well, what the heck is in there? Okay, so we've got After Dark. That's a good sign. After Dark is using Warp. Interesting. So that was the screensaver that was configured for it. Warp at maximum speed with 200 stars. Okay, sure. Is this... This does have flying toasters. I don't know why you wouldn't use flying toasters. I mean, if you've got flying toasters, why wouldn't you run flying toasters, right? And this has the sound turned on. I never hear the flying toasters. Tom Barber says flying toasters is always the answer. Exactly. Exactly. Oh, look at that. It's been turned off. So it never would have run anyway. Wild. Wild, wild. Alright, is our cache on? Cache is on. Nice. So, I don't know what this is. Dynamic desktop. Oh. There you go. You can switch your resolution on the fly. Woo! This was not a thing in 1991, switching your resolution on the fly. It also wasn't a thing for Windows 3. If you remember, you had to like go through the resolution setup thing when you picked your graphics card driver, and you set a resolution for Windows 3. For some reason, the puzzle desk accessory is in the control panels folder. I'm not totally sure why. What else do we have in the system folder? Disinfectant! Look at that. Gotta stay safe. So we got Eudora. There were a lot, I mean a lot, of modem extensions in the extensions folder. This thing was online a lot. Oh, what else is in here? System Enabler 111. I don't know which one that is. Oh yeah, what version of macOS are we on? 7.1.0. Okay. Yeah, we don't have Command M for make alias, so we're not at 7.1.1 yet. Interesting. Interesting. What else we got in the Apple menu? Quick envelope, loan calculator. I'm guessing that's Quicken. We've got the fonts downloader for Adobe Type Manager. That means you can take fonts and download them into your printer. Let's see if we are seeing Apple Text active. Oh, I bet I didn't set this to the right port. Let's see, network. I've got this online. If I set this to Ether Talk, we should be able to see the Global Talk network from here. There we go. There's the Global Talk network. Go say hi to Ron. Ron's Computer Videos. Apparently that was the owner name. Look at that. Very nice. Looking good. Looking good. Okay, what is on this hard drive? Do I want to know? Trina asked, are you booted from the hard drive that came with this machine? I am. This is the original machine. The original hard drive, the original machine. America Online! Look at that! Retrospect, so that's a backup utility. So we had some backups going on. PowerPoint. Ooh. Oh, PowerPoint viewer. Okay, that makes more sense. No actual PowerPoint. Oh wait, no, actual PowerPoint. It's just in a different place. Does it work? Oh, it does! Look at that. What version is this? 3.0! Wow. Amazing. What else? A lot of personal info in here I don't want to look at. Anything else fun on here? No. Okay. There's even an applications folder on this thing. Is Canvas a drawing program? Maybe. Read the release notes. Deneba Canvas. Yeah, I think it is. Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Stack says, needs Wolf 3D. Alright, well, we'll put that on here. Make sure to run it. Ifrit says, I have a 2CI with an 040 accelerator, so basically a scuffed Quadra 700. Very nice. Looks like Canvas has crashed. Yes, Canvas has crashed. So we will reboot ski. Trina asks, is the Genesis folder from Dr. Marcus? I don't know. I think this is about as much as I'm gonna investigate on this thing. I haven't looked at the drive in detail. I have imaged it. I haven't looked at what's in it. It does seem to be mostly personal documents. I was hoping there might be a couple of programs we could run, but it looks like Canvas and PowerPoint is it. It's kind of disappointing. So I'm gonna get the blue SCSI ready to go. We're gonna put some other stuff on this. Including, so I have a box of goodies behind me. A box of goodies. This is the Apple 824. This is the display cards. This is the unaccelerated version. Unfortunately, if this was the accelerated version, I'd be, I'd be in pretty good shape. I saw one on eBay the other day, the accelerated version of this card for $900. But I've got some things in here that I've been keeping for like the last 30 years. We'll see if they work. This hard drive could have three things on it. It's either going to be an install of classic Mac OS, or it's going to be AUX. I was messing around with AUX back in the day. Or it is an install of Debian 68K. So Debian Linux for Motorola 68K processors. We're going to try this drive, see if it still works. These aren't so super useful anymore. These take a VGA video card and turn it into a Mac monitor. Not that useful these days. But I hung on to it. This is the display, the Apple display card, which isn't that interesting, but it'd be kind of funny. If/when I do a video on this machine, I'll probably put that in there. I've got another new bus video card on the way as well. Run triple monitor off of your vintage Mac. This is the card I want to try in there though today. I've been hanging on to this thing for a long time. This is an Orange Micro Orange PC. This is basically an entire 486 on a board. It plugs into a new bus slot. You run some software on the Mac, and it will divert its video output onto your Mac screen, and you can use a PC on your Mac. This one is from 1990, maybe? I'm not seeing a lot of date codes on it. The BIOS chip on here does say 90 PAL. It can't be from 90 because I've got an AMI BIOS sticker on the back that says 93. So at least 1993. There's a handwritten serial number in the corner of the card. They were a little low production run, but I want to try this thing in here. I found the software on Mac-Garden, so hopefully we can get it to work and get it to boot a PC on the Quadra. I think it'd be fun. Alright, so we got some stuff to do. I think the first thing is to... let's look at the Blue SCSI and see how that's working. So, it should be as simple as just plugging Le Blue SCSI into the SCSI port on the back when the machine's not turned on. So we'll shut her down. And... dun, dun, dun. Turn it back on. Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack asks, what's CPU on the orange microcard? This originally came with, I think, an Intel 486 SX33. It's got a whole bunch of jumpers on there to configure the CPU. I replaced it 30 years ago with a spare DX33 that I had laying around. It only takes one sim. It's fast page mode. It's only got 4 megs in it right now. But I do have more sims laying around, so we can try that. This is the original sim for this card, by the way. It is an orange micro stickered 4 megabyte sim. Which I think is funny. I've not used this card in ages. The nice part is there's no electrolytics on it, and there's a few tantalum capacitors on the back, but no electrolytics, so it should be okay. Fingers crossed. This was actually a thing that my dad used before he passed. Long time ago, to run a specific piece of software that he needed to use for his business on his Mac 2CX. So it's kind of fitting that it's going to be going into a Quadra 700, the spiritual successor to the 2CX. Okay, so we are booted up. We've got a whole bunch more images on the desktop now. We still have this completely crazy system font that's set up in here. But now we've got all the stuff that I've got on my Blue SCSI. So like this is the Blue SCSI I was using in my Centris. So I've got like, this was running, my Centris was running Global Talk for a while, until I virtualized it, moved it into a virtual machine. But stuff folder is a 2 gigabyte image that's got lots of stuff in it. There's the hard drive image that I made last night. But I've got, we've got some games. Let's run some games. Do I have, oh, we have a full 68040 on this thing. We can run Quake and see how slowly it goes. Let's do that. Let's see how bad it is. Ho ho ho! Oh yeah, that's crunchy. Woo. There we go. Let's get onto the start map. I don't know why it's in black and white, but it appears to be working very, very badly. Let's see. Plus and look. Oh, there's no keyboard buffer. Okay, so plus Fine, fine. Okay, I'll turn around. Do we have mouse control? Keyboard. No. Mouse, keyboard. Oh, we do have keyboard. Okay. We turn around and look at the wall. There we go. Now I should be able to type. This is what it is like running it on a 486 too. Plus M look. Beautiful. And then we reduce the screen size a whole bunch. We don't have mouse support. Okay. Good to know. Oh, oh, that's crunchy. Oh boy. It is running though. It is running. That is honestly better than I thought it was going to run. Oh, that's hilarious. There we go. Wow. Wow. Pixel Pipes is here. Hello. Pixel Pipe says, "Hey, a Quadra 700. I know this. Hold on to your butts." Exactly. Exactly. You know exactly where it's from. Let's see how Marathon runs on this. Probably not amazingly, but we get sound at least. We didn't have on the Quake port. I think the last time I ran this was on the Centrist, so it should have the settings saved. Do I still not have any? Okay, well that's... Sure. What is shoot? What is my shoot key? It's something stupid, isn't it? Oh, it's spacebar! Of course, why would it... Why would you ever use spacebar for anything other than shoot? I tried to strafe and I found the weapon switch key. Alright, well that's good. It runs sorta okay. Where is it? I heard it. There it is. There's reload mechanic, but you can't manually reload. Yeah, it runs pretty okay. Which means, of course, if we run Doom on here, it's going to run like garbage, because the Doom port was really bad. Don't... Oh yeah, no, there's not enough stuff on here to actually, like, play games. Let's boot up off of that drive, and we'll see what happens. We should have more luck playing games. There's no startup disk control panel. How is there no startup disk control panel? This system is weird. I'm gonna borrow startup disk out of this system. Alright. We'll reboot out the Blue Scuzzy. Ian Scott is here. Hello, welcome to stream. Garth Beagle is also here. Garth asks, when is the Pico Gus for New Bus arriving? Software FPU did not load because we have a hardware FPU. Okay, so we are booted off of the Blue Scuzzy. Notably, now we have a color Apple menu icon. We're still not seeing all the RAM installed of this thing, so we're going to have to pull this thing apart in a minute. But let's see how Doom runs. Everything is Broken Garage is here. Hello, Ryan. How's it going? Welcome to stream. Dang it, I'm still in mouse control? Okay, fine. Is it? Oh, right, it's like IJKL. Oh, gross. What is shoot? D, as in derpy. D is the fire button. Lord help me when I have to open this door. What the heck is the open key gonna be? It's space! That would make sense. This runs alright on here. I mean, it's not amazing. Although, considering, like, you weren't going to be running Doom full screen on a 486-33 either. It's doing alright. Ta-da! Alright. Well, we got that. Ooh, nice. We've got a CD-ROM driver, so my CD shows up, which is cool. I put a second drive on here, but I don't think it's showing up. Well, I've got lots of utilities. Let's see if I can find it in a format. So I wanted to put macOS 8 on this thing. So it's a little slow for macOS 8, but it should run it okay. I mostly just want it for, just to say I have it. Let's see. I don't have it in there. Okay. Oh, yeah, we should run a benchmark. Let's give it a quick benchmark. Garth says D for D's guns. Your guess is as good as mine. Let's go. Okay. Run all the tests. Go. Sure. Oh, you know what? Let's test the hard drive. Let's test the actual drive. That one. That should be fun. Yeah, for real. Clarjon says, somebody cleaned up the bits and bobs the OS didn't think they were going to need. Oh. That's unhappy. Not enough RAM. Oh, quit and enlarge memory size. Okay. So speedometer is not allocated enough RAM, but the cursor is not happy. Interesting. I think we are frozen. We're definitely opening this thing up. The RAM is not happy in here. Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Sack says D is the deader key. Jeremy also says I would fix the RAM first. Yeah, we should probably fix the RAM first. Yeah, apparently. Somebody cleaned up all the bits and bobs of the OS they didn't think they would need. Yeah, I mean, if you've got the one disk in the machine, you're never going to need the startup disk utility, right? You just put in, you need to boot off something else, you put in a boot disk. Speaking of which, let's see if the floppy drive works. I bet it'll read, and it'll kill itself on eject. Because the cheese gears in these things always go out. Here we go. Disk is in. We're reading. Hey, look at that. It's RAM doubler. I'm not going to install RAM doubler. Oh yeah, I forgot I have that utility that lets you like drag full windows. I missed that. That was nice. So that works. Let's read a file off of it. Wonderful. And let's eject it, see if it destroys itself. It doesn't eject. Yep, doesn't eject. That's the same thing that the disk drive in my Centris does. Either the cheese gear's already gone, or the motor is burnt out. The eject motor is burnt out. But somewhere around here I have a push pin to get the disk out. That's fine. Deal with that in a minute. Ian Scott says Rutro. It's fine. It's fine. Let me grab the drivers for the orange micro card. I really need to get my internal Apple File Protocol stuff working. I don't have it set up yet. So I'm pulling files off of my web server using Netscape, which is not great. There's better ways to do this. Oh, looks like this didn't quite crash. What are you doing, Netscape? Let's open a location. What did I call this thing? Orange PC _3. That's it. Yes, save it. Oh, I had a downloads folder right there. We get a downloads manager? Netscape 1.0. Very, very old. Not quite functioning correctly. That wasn't a super big file, so let's see if it actually downloaded it. Yeah, got it. Cool. Wonderful. Okay. Throw that into Stuff and Expander. Da-da-da-da-da. Gut Bomb is going turbo mode. Gut Bomb says he is catching up in 2 times speed, makes the Quadra even faster. Very nice. Alright, yeah, let's open this thing up and take a look at the stuff inside. Shutdown. Ba-da. Good luck ejecting that. Where did I put that? Eject tool. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? I guess I used it once and I put it back because I'm smart. So that's 2 drives. I'm going to guess the other one also is going to need to either have the motor replaced or the cheese gear replaced or both. But that should just be... Let me switch to the desk view. Y'all can see this. Yeah, it should be as simple as just sticking a thingamabob in here. Give it a press. There we go. We get our disc back. Ta-da! Okay, so this is the orange PC card we will be installing. Unplug. Risk of RIFA explosion is lessened. Put the keyboard aside for the moment. Gotta unplug the mouse because otherwise it's gonna sit on the mouse connector, which is not great. Okay. Stay. Alright, so y'all have not witnessed how easy it was to get into vintage Macs back in the day. When the Mac 2 project started, the goal of the engineers creating it, it was not a corporately supported project at the beginning. Steve was very against having a PC-shaped Macintosh. But the engineers that skunk worked the Mac 2 project and eventually turned into the Quadras, they wanted to build a machine that was really easily expandable and user serviceable. And the Quadra 700, while being compact, because it is pretty small, like there's a 3.5-inch hard drive for scale. It's pretty small. Manages to be extremely easy to service. Opening the case is 2 latches in the back. You just pop them, and then the little feet push aside, and we're inside. That's it. That's as easy as it is. You've got obviously your hard drives right here, your power supplies right here. There's 1 screw in the middle that I have already removed because I've been inside here. But you've got access to your 2 slots. Also, there's a processor direct slot here you can't quite see. And that basically exposes the CPU's front side bus to that slot. So you can upgrade the CPU in this thing to a wide range of things. I think, although the one I think was the most popular was the PowerPC 601 upgrade. But I think you can put a 603 in this thing as well at some point. It's shipped with a, right here, if I can point to it, with a little heatsink on it. This is a 68040 at 25 megahertz. Turned out the 68040 didn't really have much in the way of legs. The peak speed we ever got out of it was 40 megahertz in of course, the Quadra 840 AV. Most of the higher end machines ran 33 megahertz 040s, and it never saw like 66 megahertz, 100 megahertz, 133, 160 megahertz like we saw on the 486 on the PC side, unfortunately. But getting access to the motherboard is basically you need to remove these two assemblies. The power supply essentially lifts out. There's a small tab in here that you slide backwards with your finger. That releases the power supply. And then you just wiggle it a little. and she comes out. Say wiggle a little, and you're gonna wiggle it a lot because it's old. It doesn't want to come out. Come on. Get out of there. Oh, 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 I think we got it. Come on. Come on. I just took you out last night. Get out of there. Oh, that's the plug. That's why it's so difficult. The plug on the main board is on that side, so it's a little bit of a pain in the butt to get out. It's good TV, right? That's what you came here to see. Alright, that is disengaged. Just needs to slide up this side rail. There we go. Out it comes. That's it. Power supply. Alright, we had a bunch of people asking what this power supply is. It is that. I don't know what that means. That gives us access to the backside of the board. And then this drive cage, we just need to unplug the drives. Easiest to do it from the drive side. So we've got SCSI and power for the hard drive. And then the floppy drive is just a little tiny cable at the bottom you can't really see. Really can't see. It's got a little pull tab on it, so you pop it off the motherboard. And then this whole assembly slides backwards. There's a latch here that you pull, and then there's that screw that I have unscrewed already. The whole assembly slides backwards, and then it comes out top. That's it. We're in the machine. No tools. I mean, a screwdriver, but no tools. 1991. Yeah. Go do the same thing to that IBM PS2 Model 80 in the back there. Good luck. We'll see you in a day. So yeah, this is the machine. Let's see if you can see. Yeah, you can see we've got fully populated SIM slots, fully populated VRAM. Unfortunately, the way this is laid out, right? These larger SIMs here, that's the VRAM, and then these 30-pin SIMs are the actual RAM. So we've got to pull all the VRAM. Well, not all of the VRAM, but we've got to pull one of the VRAMs to get access to the SIMs, to the actual RAM. So we'll do that. I'm actually going to use a 3D printer scraper because pulling on these tabs is a pain in the ass. And thankfully they're metal, so you're not going to destroy some plastic here by trying to get these SIMs out. So I'm just basically tilting one of the SIMs back so I've got clearance to move the SIMs in the RAM sockets. But again, it's just unclip, give it a little wiggle, and unclip the other side. These are basically just bog standard fast page mode 30-pin SIMs. Nothing real special. This will not focus on this at all, will it? There you go. We've got Samsung memory. This is a stick from Kingston. These should be actually don't know. I don't know how big these should be. Maybe they are just 4 megabytes each. Let me look up the Kingston part number. Because I looked up the Samsung part numbers last night. We've got Kingston. hair on my keyboard. No. Kingston KTM 4000S 30-pin SIM. What do we got? Yeah, okay, never mind. They're 4 megs each. So we are seeing all the RAM in this machine. No worries. Let's at least give the SIMs a wiggle. Make sure they're making good contact. So we've got four 4-megabyte SIMs, and then there's 4 megabytes soldered onto the motherboard. So we've got a total of 20 megs. That makes sense. I don't have any larger 30-pin SIMs on me here in the lab. I can see if I can do some digging for them online. Because it'd be kind of funny to have a Quadra 700 with like maxed out RAM. But 20 megabytes honestly is not bad. Alright, get that VRAM SIM back in there. These are all pretty good. Nice and in place. Date on battery is... Battery's been replaced. Date on the battery is 96. It's still real old. I'll replace that at some point as well. But let's try this mystery hard drive that I've been hanging on to for 30 years and see what that does. Let's see what that does. Okay, alright, so removing the drive from the cage, pretty simple. I can switch back to here so I can see what you're seeing. You've got 2 tabs, give them a pull, drive comes out. We've got a Quantum Pro Drive LPS. Date of 1997, so this was an upgraded drive. It's using flathead screws. I don't know if you can see that, but flathead screws. Okay, fine. Let me go find a flathead screwdriver. I think, is this gonna be small enough? The blade on this should be small enough. Flathead screws, sure. Sure, I need the handle for this. It's in there real tight. I do not remember what's on that mystery hard drive. I have no idea. I don't even know if it still works. Try not to destroy my hand. Getting these screws out. That's why you don't use flathead screws, kids. There we go. Be able to get these out by hand for the rest of the way. Boop. Where did that fall? There it is. Put you somewhere you're not going to fall over. So, I think these are aluminum screws? I don't know. They feel funny. They're very soft. Like just trying to torque this one out, it put some cuts in the screw. Super soft. Okay, so there's the original drive. Although it's an upgrade, it's not the original drive. Look at that bad boy. I love old quantum drives. I don't know, I always had a thing for quantum hard drives. I had very good luck with them back in the day. I know a lot of folks didn't, and they were just as much of a shot in the dark for reliability as anybody else, but I always had really good luck with them. Alright, so our carrier is symmetrical, so thankfully I don't think I can put this on wrong. This one is a date code of... Does it have a date code? I don't see a date code. This is either going to be 270 or 540 megabytes. It's also a Pro Drive, but it is a Quantum Maverick Pro Drive. So that should be fun. SCSI ID, is that set anywhere? Set A0. That must just be ID0. The label has instructions for setting an IDE drive, which, yeah, that's not an IDE drive. That fits a 50-pin SCSI cable. But the label has instructions for setting master, slave, and cable select. Not this drive. Not this drive. Wrong drive. Throw the screws back in there. Oh, there you go. Well, that one doesn't want to quite go in there. That screw hole might be munched. Fun. Sure doesn't look happy. Let's see if the screw will go in here. Oh, maybe. No, it does not like it. Okay. We'll put it in with 3 screws then. I thought maybe I had just like misaligned the cover plate on the drive, but no. That screw hole has been cross-threaded at some point in its past. Okay. Drive caddy. Drive goes back in the caddy. Drive caddy. Ta-da! We don't have a convenient LED spot for this, unfortunately, so we don't get any LED. Okay. Slides right into place. Very nice. Plug in power. Who wants to make bets on this just making horrible grinding noises when we start it up? Okay, get the cables on the way and we can drop the power supply back in. Did we have a... I wasn't watching the chat. Did we have an opinion on the power supply? Ian Scott says, I need to stop watching streams like this. It's making me want a Quadra. Smash snug. That screws GE power supply. Gutbomb says, I've never seen the inside of the GE unit. Alright, well, we don't know. Maybe there's a RIFA waiting for us. Maybe there isn't. Who knows? It'll be an adventure. Alright, so we just line up the rails on this. And it should just drop in. Just like that. And, top the case. Goes right back on. Ta-da! Get the feet out of the way. Why are you unhappy? Oh, you're not unhappy. There we go. Ta-da! Plug that keyboard back in. If y'all haven't seen this keyboard, it is absolutely monstrous. It's huge. Oh, there are 2 keyboard ports on the back of this for some reason. Just in case. I mean, I suppose, like, if you wanted to plug a drawing tablet into this, it'd be perfect. Because you just have your keyboard, mouse, one plug, and then your drawing tablet on the other plug. It was a professional Mac. It was designed for professional stuff. But we can plug, means we can plug our mouse right into the back. Ha-ha! Okay. Power. And then we should be able to boot her back up. We'll see what's on this drive. Taking bets on horrible screeching noises from that hard drive that I haven't touched in 30 years. Are you ready? Drive sounds okay. Let me switch over to the capture card. Oh, I still have the Blue SCSI plugged in, so we're going to boot off the Blue SCSI. But we'll at least be able to see what's on it. Yeah, Gutbomb says drawing tablets usually have pass-throughs. That's what I thought too, but here, have 2 keyboard ports. It's still awake, it's just not booting. Let me turn it off. I'll unplug the Blue SCSI. We'll see if we can get it to boot straight off of the hard drive. See what happens. Ooh. Aw, boo. Got a happy Mac for like a moment, and then we got this. Okay, let me plug the Blue SCSI back in. Let's see what happens. I have no idea what's on this drive. Not a clue. Zap the PRAM again. Garth Beagle says the 2 GE power supplies that he has did not have RIFAs. Alright. We may be safe from RIFA smoke today. Jonathari Marshall says, also, I learned that 68040 Motorola chips are still used in modern jet flight computers. They've graduated to microcontroller status at this point, and they're pretty potent microcontrollers. Obviously, they ran workstations back in the 90s. You shrink them down enough that they run off of batteries. They make pretty potent microcontrollers. Something about the hard drive and the blue SCSI is not playing nice together. Sometimes with this one I find I have to plug the card back in. See if this works. Somebody who's more familiar, can you tell me, is there a way to tell the boot ROM which SCSI ID to boot off of? I don't remember. It's been a long time since I used a Mac with multiple disks. Looks like a big old nope. Oh, Command Option Shift number. It says Tom Barber. Let's give it a try. We should be able to boot off of ID1. Command Option Shift Delete to force booting off of external SCSI. I think we'll give that a try. Command Option Shift Delete. Here we go. Gutbomb asks if both the drive and the blue SCSI have terminators. I think the blue SCSI is configured to self-terminate. I don't know if the drive is. Haven't looked at it in 30 years. And like I said, the label on it documents the IDE instructions, not the SCSI instructions. I'm guessing that's what's going on, is it's probably SCSI termination. That is our problem. Because if I pull the blue SCSI, it tries to boot off of the disk. Both jumpers are set to 0 on the blue SCSI. Does that mean no termination? Or does that have anything to do with termination at all? Or is the termination the resistor packs here? I don't know. I don't remember. What's the minimum Mac OS for this thing? It won't boot off of System 6, will it? So I've got a System 6 boot disk. Termination is resistor pack. Okay, that's what I thought. Does not like the System 6 boot disk. That's fine. Tom Barber says, jumpers are for programming, don't touch them. Gareth Beagle says, hit it with the hammer.net. Yeah, that's what I thought. Ifrit says 701 minimum operating system. Yeah, that's what I thought. I didn't think there was a 7 boot disk. Like, I thought 7 was too big to put on a boot disk. Let's see. I guess we're going to turn it off and check the drive. See if we've got termination enabled on that drive. I honestly do not remember. Pull power, because we're going to pull the power supply. Maybe not. Maybe we don't have to pull the power supply. Pull the disk out. Alright. Yeah, the label unfortunately documents jumper configuration for the IDE version of the drive. It does not document SCSI jumpers. Sometimes those drives have a socketed resistor pack. Well, I guess we're going to find out. It seems likely that it's termination. If it boots or tries to boot with the drive and doesn't boot off the blue SCSI with the drive connected. I want to say though that we've got resistor packs next to the SCSI connector, and that makes me think it is self-terminated. I'm going to switch scenes here. See, we've got resistor packs right by the SCSI connector. Makes me think that we've got termination on the drive. Of course, that's assuming that they still work. I've had other things where resistor packs have failed. We've got 3 jumpers, A0, A1, A2. I'm assuming that that is the ID selection. All right, let's do a little Googling. Let's see if we can find the Quantum Maverick Pro Drive. SCSI jumpers. Oh god, I forgot about that. Because Maxter bought Quantum, and then Seagate bought Maxter, so you can get your Quantum documentation off of the Seagate website. It's really messed up. Again, the only settings we have here are for the IDE version. These three jumpers are master slave and or single drive, dual drive, cable select, which is weird because it's definitely a SCSI drive. Well, it says AT only. Use JP11 for AT only. It's not. The resistor packs. I don't think the resistor packs pull out. They seem to be soldered in there. That's a great question. Wait. Oh my god, I think they do pull out. Yeah, no, they're socketed. The resistor packs are freaking socketed. What? Holy cow. Okay. To be fair, it's configured currently not in the default. The default is to have the jumper in the middle selection. It's not currently there. But again, this has instructions for the AT version, not the SCSI version. Francois is here. Hello, welcome to the stream. We're trying to figure out how to set the SCSI ID on this drive. That makes sense. You could turn off the termination if you needed to. So the drive that came in the machine also has socketed resistor packs. They're installed. That's so wild. I never knew these things were socketed. I guess how else do you terminate an internal drive? Wild. Wild, wild. Oh, okay. We have the reason. We have the reason it was not working. So I just looked up, I dropped, even though the label says Maverick on it, Quantum Maverick, it also says ProDrive. So I dropped Maverick and just looked for the Quantum ProDrive, and I've got another layout of the PCB. It's got the A0, A1, and A2 jumpers, and they're not just straight SCSI ID 0, 1, and 2. You set them based on a matrix. You can set, obviously it's 3 bits. You can set from 0 to 7 using it. In order for this to be ID 0, there needs to be no jumper connection at all on this jumper pack. So, or this jumper block. So I'm going to pop this little jumper off of there. This should make it ID 0. It was currently on ID 1, which makes sense because I have one of the images on this is set to SCSI ID 1. So that makes sense why it was not working. We'll be back in business shortly. We know the drive doesn't boot though, since when it was the only drive in the system it refused to boot, but at least we'll be able to see what's on it, hopefully. Throw the screws back in here. 3 of them anyway. The 4th hole is munched. The mystery drive. What did I put on this 30 years ago? I don't remember. Okay. SCSI cables in. Power is in. It does have a spot to plug in an LED, but the connector is too large. Plug is too large, the socket is too small. Alright. Drive drops in like that. Ta-da! And stuff the cable away. Get on in there. There we go. Okay. Button it up again. Ta-da! I purposefully don't have any images on here that do SCSI ID 0 because I want to be able to use this to recover an ID 0 boot drive. So now this should be set to SCSI ID 0. So let's get it plugged back into power. And plug the keyboard back in. And plug our blue SCSI back in. As we know it won't boot off the hard drive, we'll at least be able to see what's on it. So let's switch back over to the capture card. There we go. And away we go. Oh, Dave's heading to a barbecue. Have fun, Dave. Have a good rest of your night. So we're booting out the blue SCSI in black and white for some reason. Who knows why? Is that can't be that disc, is it? Is that disc? Is it just a disc with just 701 images on it? No way. Let's see if we can see it with hard drive tools. Where did I put my hard drive tools? What are we booted off of? Or booted off of Mac Air. Startup disk, System 7 Pro, and monitor. Well, let's probably not doing. Yep, 32-bit addressing is off. Let's turn up our disk cache. Monitors, let's turn on color. There we go. Oh, why is it set? It's set to grays. Millions of grays. Okay. There we go. It's Rebootski. Rebootski. What do we got? This drive better not just have a bunch of disk images on it. I bet it spins up okay and you can't read anything off it. I bet that's what's going on with it. I really hope. I keep a drive for 30 years that just has a bunch of disk images on it. I'm gonna go back in time, find my older self and kick her. Okay, do I have... I heard a chunk from the drive. Where is my disk tools? Where are my disk tools? Let's see if I can read it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. That is it. It's a disk full of disk image. Really? What did me? Why? Why did I save this? Oh my god, I'm gonna go back in time and strangle myself. I was messing around with Debian on 68K. I was messing around with AUX. Why didn't I just leave a drive with AUX on it for me to discover 30 years later? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Ah. You know what? Well, it's already an FWB. Interesting. John says, at least on the bright side, you're trying to keep backups. Yeah. Backing up the wrong stuff, but yeah, it's keeping backups. Oh, gosh. Alright, quit. You know what we're going to do? We're going to put Mac OS 8 on it. What? What do you mean it can't run on this computer? What? Gutbomb says you need a system... Yeah, no, it shouldn't need a system enabler for 8, not on an 040. This should just work. Eric's Edge is here. Hello, welcome. Gareth Beagle says, why wasn't the drive full of unarchived programs? Right, exactly. I had so much stuff I was doing back then. Why did I not, like, throw it on this drive and keep it? Gareth asks, is that a CPU-specific release of 8.1 or the general release? That's a good question. That's a good question. I don't know how to tell that. I thought this was the general release. I wonder if it's PowerPC only. See the documentation. What documentation? Okay. And this thing's too early to boot off the CD image, right? Like I can't hold down C and make this boot off the Mac OS 8 CD, can I? 8.6 doesn't run on 68K? Not with that attitude. I wonder if I can select it in startup disk. See if we can make it boot off of the CD. See if it doesn't like it then. Eric's Edge says, I like my G3. G3s are good. I'm planning to eventually turn my 8500 into a G3. I'm waiting on the video card for this, though. This won't work with the internal video on the 8500. That did not boot off the CD. Okay. Garth says you can get a general 8.1 CD image here. You throw that on. Throw that on my image archive. Okay. Got those saving. Frustrating. I've got an image of 8.0. I can try that. Let's see. In the meantime, formatted this disk, I can take System 7 Pro, dump it on here, do this ghetto style. Oh yeah, I forgot I have speed copy on this thing. Look at this thing go! I'm surprised this drive works. This is an old drive. I'm very surprised that it works. Gut Bomb says, I hope you find those disk images you saved for decades useful. No, I just erased the disk. Who needs it? Who needs a bunch of floppy disk images of 701? It's already archived on the garden anyway. It's already there. Alright, so if we bless the system file, we should be able to boot off of it. There we go. Startup disk. Boot off of Quantum. Let's boot it off a drive. Heck yeah. These old Quantum drives are fast. Look at it go. Booting up off a real hard drive. Glorious. Glorious, glorious. I love it. Nothing quite like it. Nothing quite like it. Okay, let me shut down real quick. I'm gonna mess with the images on this blue SCSI. And swap this macOS 8.1 image, see what it does. Okay. Toss that image of macOS 8.1, put this one on there. It's bigger. It's like 40 megabytes bigger. It was like 360, and this one's 400. So maybe it was like a PowerPC only release. That's weird. Weird. We'll make this CD6, macOS 8.1. Very strange. Eric's Edge has a set of macOS 7.6.1 floppies for that vintage experience. You can keep that, my friend. I don't want to do that ever again in my life. Oh gosh. But like even like installing Win95 off the CD, like it was supposed to be faster, and yet it took so long. It took so long. Those in the know that you either, as a Mac person, you copy the system folder over to another machine and just keep it as a backup drive, or to another drive, keep it as a backup. Or, if you're doing Windows stuff, you copy the contents of the install CD to the drive, so you can install off of the hard drive. Because it's so much less painful than installing from floppies or CD-ROM. Alright, so we'll boot up. Ta-da! Hi, 8386SX is here, says YouTube failed to tell me about this stream. Very tardy as a result. Well, spoiler, there's no RIFAs to pop. Apparently the GE power supply that's in this doesn't have a RIFA cap. And all the board is full of solid capacitors, and so it just turns out it just works. The Quadra 700 just keeps going. It just keeps trucking forever. Definitely means I won't ever have to recap the power supply ever, right? Clarge on 1 Plus says, does that mean the stream never ends since there's no RIFA to pop? That's a very good question. Not one that I thought of. I thought for sure this would have a RIFA in it. It does not. Okay, so here's our new macOS 8.1 CD. Let's see if this will allow us to install it. No, it still doesn't like it. Is there a problem? Why don't you like it? Wah. Do I need to be booted off of a newer Mac OS to install OS 8.1? Oh, I super need to rebuild my desktop file. Here you go, here's a quick trick. So, Command Option Escape kills the current app. Our current app is Finder. So we kill it, hold down Command and Option, and we can rebuild the desktop file. What does rebuilding the desktop file do? It basically goes back out and finds all the icons for programs. Garth asks, are you running any CPU support, spoofing init, or something? That's a good question, actually. I have some stuff running on this thing that I probably shouldn't be running when I'm trying to install it. Closion says I gotta hop out. Alright. See you later. I'll catch you in VR. I have a few things in here. It shouldn't be spoofing anything. I don't need to rebuild the desktop file on anything else. Just the boot disk. There we go. Now we've got all of our icons again. Hooray! Let's set a desktop background, because this is getting annoying. Like, I've got software FPU, which I don't need anymore. I've got a bunch of, like, doublers. I've got startup doubler, I've got CPU doubler. I should probably disable those and just boot up with a clean system. I can't do extensions off because I need the CD-ROM driver. Of course I have drag any window, which I love. Lets me literally drag any window. I want general controls. I want desktop patterns. Where's my desktop patterns? I guess it's not in System 7.1 yet. Okay. What are you beeping at me for? I can't set a desktop pattern? That's weird. I wonder if it's complaining about the clock. Let's set the clock. Oops. Sure, we'll make it 1998. Why not? Maybe that's what it's complaining about. Nope. Program cannot run on your computer. So weird. Okay, let's put some stuff in here. CPU doubler can go. I don't think drag any window matters. Startup doubler will go. Jeremy's Vintage Hillbilly Shack asks, besides Jurassic Park, is there any reason to add a Quadra 700 to a Mac collection? It is just kind of a known quantity, right? Like, most vintage Apple users, most vintage Mac users know the Quadra 700. It was kind of a, like, it was a pretty desirable machine even before Jurassic Park, just because of its form factor and its capabilities. You know, it's quick. It's got a full 040 in it. It's got the processor direct slot that lets you upgrade it. It's got 2 normal NuBus slots. It's just kind of it's got built-in Ethernet, so like one of those NuBus slots does not need to be a network card. It's just kind of a beastly little workstation from 1991. From what it's like talking to Ron. If you ever ask Ron of Ron's computer videos, like about the Quadra 700, he'll immediately recommend like a Quadra or Centris or Performa 650 because it's basically the same speed. But I think you get 3 slots. It's in a desktop form factor. It's a more modern chassis. It's just generally an overall a nicer experience, and like nobody's looking for them, so you're not going to find them on eBay for like $1,000 or whatever. If you're just looking for an 040 Mac, maybe something like a Quadra 650 or a Centris 650 or a Performa 6 something. Make Performa 650s? I don't remember if they did. But the Quadra or the Centris line in the 600 range, not bad. Not bad. Maybe skip the Centris 610. They have a tendency to nuke their motherboards, as I found out. Let's see if this will run. No, it still doesn't like it. I pulled a lot of extensions out of there, and it still doesn't like it. Oh, now, for some reason, we've turned off our 32-bit clean support. I don't know why. Stop it. There you go. Gut Bomb says my Quadra 650 is my favorite Mac in my collection. There you go. I8386SX says maybe if Jurassic Park used 650s, everything wouldn't have gone south. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Quadra 650 is better in every way except the Jurassic Park factor. I'm kind of just partial to the way they look. I really like this little, square rectangular prism case. But that's, again, it's a little nostalgia factor. When I was little, I used my dad's 2CX and his giant 19-inch grayscale monitor to, like, teach myself HyperCard. So having a similar system that's also, like, way wicked fast, I'm happy with that. I like that. It still doesn't like it. It does not like it. I don't know why it doesn't like it. I've got mode 32 on now, but I don't want to. Can I set my desktop background now, or is it gonna beep at me again? You gonna let me set this? Hey, it let me set the desktop background finally. Hooray! Oh, that's so much better. Ah, that looks disgusting. Where's one that doesn't suck? Oh, not a lot of choices. It's not better. That's not better. I don't know. Still got my drag any window. Still got my window shade. I don't know. I don't know why it won't let me. Monitors. Set to colors? Yeah, I don't know. What resolutions can this support? Boo. Gutbomb follows up that my Quadra 650 is my favorite Mac in my collection, but if I had a 700, it would be my favorite. That's the thing. That's the thing about them. I don't know. They have a certain je ne sais quoi about them. Anyway, I think that's gonna be it for this stream. We've gone for 2 hours. No RIFA caps have exploded because it turns out there's no RIFA caps, which I guess is all right. That's fine. Let's. Oh right, I don't have my network set up. I said let's drop one of these my little greets JPEG into somebody's folder. I need to set my network. Switched over to Ethernet. There we go. Beautiful. Who wants a greets? Do we have anybody watching who has one of these up? I've already given greets to Eric, but I know he's here. I interact with Bill Goats once in a while on Mastodon. Let's see if he'll let me onto his 2C, or his LC. He will. Wonderful. Okay. Alright, Bill, you're getting my greets JPEG. Bill is up in the island of Orkney, up at the very northern tip of the island of the UK, way up at the tip top of Scotland. So we're just going to push this file out over the global Apple Talk network and say hi. This is something I never would have expected to actually work. If you'd showed me this 30 years ago, you would have blown my tiny little brain. It would have been amazing. It's not fast. I'll say that, it's not fast, but... I also don't have speed copy enabled, that's my big problem. Oh, Eric asked, what is speed copy? Speed copy is part of Speed Doubler. There are images on the garden for Speed Doubler. These are install disks I picked up on eBay, but you can write those images to any floppy and just install off of the floppy, and Speed Doubler will think you've installed it off of original media. It's not super smart. But basically what it does is it increases your disk cache size for copies, for file copies. It also gives you multi-threaded file copies in macOS versions prior to 8.0 or 7.6, wherever they introduced the multi-threaded file copies. Also on a PowerPC Mac, you get a fresh version of the 68K emulator that's a little faster. It's about 30% faster than the one that Apple ships. This was rolled into, this basically is useless past like macOS 8.5, because at that point I think Apple hired the engineer that did this, and they got the faster emulator. But yeah, Speed Doubler, I recommend it. Did this thing crash? Nope, it's just copying really slowly. It is the Isle of Orkney, so it is a ways out there. But I think that's going to be it for the stream for today. I'm going to switch over to the ACAM and play y'all out. It's been fun. Hope everybody's had a good time looking at this legendary and well-known old Macintosh, and I am just so thrilled that this thing just works as well as it does. It's going to be the foundational member of my desktop Macs here, along with my very not great looking, but works perfectly fine Power Mac 8500. So I hope everybody had a good fun time, and I hope y'all take care of yourselves and others, and I hope the rest of your weekend goes really well. Yeah. May the PC parts be ever in your favor. Have a good night, y'all.